Hi, I'm Valerie Friedlander, certified life coach and founder of The Unlimited Mom, and this is the final video on creating effective and sustainable change. The first video, I talked about the 3 mistakes that people make when they're trying to create change in their life. Then I talked about the number 1 thing that you need in order to create change, which is a vision of the change that you want to create, the person that you want to be, and the impact that you want to make in the world. So what's your best self look like? So that's that core foundation. The next component is creating those stair steps, developing a plan of action that you can try and learn from and grow so that you're always moving forward. And this video, we're talking about action. Action all stems from thought. We don't do anything that's not aligned with what we believe, the way we think, what we believe about ourselves. So what you believe about who you are engages with the situations in your life and determines what you see. And what you see determines the way you engage those things. And the way you engage those things determines what you get back. So we create these patterns of engagement. Again, going back to the buckets that our brain creates to simplify our lives. So, oh, well, this person said this, and that means this about me. We don't think in those terms. We just respond to things. We just oftentimes react to things. Oh, well, that didn't happen the way I thought it would. Therefore, I screwed up. Therefore, I am a screw up. It's these buckets. So much of it is subconscious. We don't even realize we're doing it, but you can tell by the way you're engaging or not engaging that something is misaligned, that there's something that's not fitting, and it's not what you're doing, it's what you're believing. Because if you're not taking action, if you're not doing the things that you said you wanted to do, there's something about a belief that you have about who you are, or even a misalignment with the action and who you want to be, that's stopping you from taking action. So it's really important to take a look at those things. Now, the tricky part about taking a look at your thoughts and questioning the assumptions that you're making, the interpretations that you have about what's going on in your world, is that we're really attached to being right. Something about what we believe we need to reaffirm, because if we don't reaffirm, then we're wrong. So even if what we're doing is telling us that we're wrong, that we're screwing up, that we're not capable, that we're not likable, that we're whatever not good enough thing that we're telling ourselves, or that, well, I'm always late, or I always attract people who take from me, I'm always getting taken advantage of, I can never actually do what I set my mind to, I'm always a step behind where I want to be, whatever it is, insert your story here, right? Something about that, like it's like this catch-22. If you're right, then you don't get what you want. If you're wrong, that means you're wrong. So like if you're right, then you're wrong. And if you're wrong, then you're wrong. So we get stuck in these patterns because it's self-affirming. It's this telling us who we are. So the cool thing is that you are in charge of your thoughts, and you do get to define who you are, which is why that vision of who you want to be is so critical, because then you can take a look at that and go, how is this aligned with who I want to be? How is the way I'm engaging aligned? What would I do differently if I actually were that person that I said I wanted to be? What would I do differently in this situation? What would I believe if I looked at it through this lens? So what that allows you to do is take a step back. Curiosity and judgment can't exist in the same space. So it's allowing yourself to be curious and know that whatever you find isn't going to be awful. That you're not going to get curious and discover that something actually really is seriously wrong with you. You're going to find what the block is. You're going to find what's in your way. So it's tapping back into that idea that you are intrinsically valuable, that no matter what you find, you can do something with that because you are in charge of this right here. You are in charge of that. So some of the main tripping blocks are the inner critic, the voice that tells you you're not good enough in some way, shape, or form, your belief in your emotions and how well you're familiar with what your emotions are telling you and whether you believe what they're telling you is about outside of yourself and that thus you don't have power over it, or what's really true is that your emotions give you information about you. So being able to take that information and learn from that and grow from it and own your power, basically. So we've got the inner critic, we've got emotions, and we've got the stories that we tell, those beliefs that we hold about ourselves that you can shift. Just because it used to be true doesn't make it always true forever and ever. So much of the way we engage with the world, the things that we say, well, this is just who I am, are things that are just who you're being. And you can do differently if it's not serving you. So we think of it as personality, and it's really just perception. So being aware of that and being able to explore that and being open to curiosity around who you are and who you want to be allows you to take those steps forward, to keep moving and exploring what's working, what's not. What do you want? So being able to explore that is really difficult sometimes because, like I said, so much of it is subconscious. It's hard to read, if not impossible, to read the label on the box that you're in, which is one of the main reasons that people come to me and that we work together. One of the things that I love about my Mindset Makeover group program is that sometimes seeing somebody else's process to discover themselves opens up a door that you never would have even thought to look at. So you get to hear somebody else go through a process of discovery for themselves, and it may turn on a light bulb that you were like, I didn't even know there was a light switch there. So it's one of those wonderful things. Plus you get the one-to-one interaction of my helping you read that label and explore ways of doing things differently. It's all about moving forward in an aligned way so that you are not just being the person that you want to be, but that you are creating the life that you want to live, as well as the impact that you want to have in the world. Because I believe that as heart-centered, passionate women, moms, that we are uniquely positioned to make a difference and that we have amazing gifts, both through the natural things that we have and the journey that we're on as moms, as entrepreneurs, to make that difference. And that's what I'm here to help you do. So if you are interested in exploring any one of these pieces, because in the Mindset Makeover group program, this is an intensive group where in 10 weeks, we dive into all three of those components and really open them up for you to discover who you want to be, the way you want to go, and the understanding of the brain stuff that you need to uncover to be able to move forward. So if you're interested in exploring this further and having support to explore these three components, then let's get on a call and discover what that looks like for you and if this is a good fit. I hope to talk to you soon.